It was May 10th, 1869, at the Promontory Summit in Utah. This legendary photo was captured to signify the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad. What this photo doesn't show you is that 20,000 Chinese laborers worked tirelessly to complete this railroad. For over a century, we believed that there were no Chinese workers that helped build this railroad in this photo. They were erased. The fact that it still took 150 years to identify these two Chinese laborers in this national photo still really shows you how they have been underrepresented in history. This historical erasure has trickled down into a lot of parts of society today, including how we consume and create media. A big part of this was Hollywood.
When you were growing up in the 70s, which movies or TV shows do you remember seeing that had Asian or Asian American characters? What kinds of roles were they playing?
In the 70s, when I barely first started watching TV, I remember Bruce Lee was like a karate, kung fu guy in all of his movies. I remember this TV show called Kung Fu that had David Carradine as the main actor, but he wasn't even an Asian.
The 1882 Chinese Exclusion Act denied immigrants citizenship from America. So for the longest time, we've denied these Chinese immigrants and told them that they weren't American enough.
Which Asian or Asian American actors from that era did you remember? Do they have diverse roles, or are they mostly just typecast?
Yeah, again, I remember Bruce Lee, who just kept playing karate masters or kung fu masters, and Pat Morita, he was in Happy Days as a bartender, and Karate Kid as another karate teacher.
From the first Chinese American actor, Anna May Wong, to John Cho, typecasting has had a major impact on what kinds of roles those actors can play.
It seemed like they were all karate masters or bad guys or some smart kid that knew like how to invent everything.
Do you think the limited roles for Asian actors were connected to those larger historical erasures or lack of representation in American culture?
They were rarely included. People had a negative outlook on them from like the beginning of our country. They were just sort of workers and weren't included in the culture.
In Nancy Wong Yoon's book, Real Inequality, it mentions how actors like John Cho have been rejected from roles because they refuse to play into racial caricatures.
Do you know of any stories about like somebody in the film industry, or hearing about an Asian actor necessarily being passed over for like a role because of their ethnicity?
One of my favorite shows when I was younger was called Kung Fu, and it was about this person that grew up in like a Shaolin temple and learned Kung Fu, and put a white person in there. Bruce Lee was trying to get that role, even though all the teachers and the Shaolin monks were all Asian people. The main character, they wanted him to be a white American person. They put David Carradine.
Did seeing or not seeing Asian characters on screen affect how you saw yourself or the people you knew in real life?
The lack of Asian people being on TV or movies didn't expose their culture to a lot of Americans, and I know growing up that I kind of saw Asians as just the smart kids, and I do kind of feel like they were an outside group compared to the people that I grew up with.
Today, though, Asian American actors are taking more chances to create independent films, and often they honestly do become successes in many ways.
One of the Asian kid actors in Goonies and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, he had a really hard time for many, many years to get any more roles and sort of gave up on acting for many years. And luckily he got a part in a movie recently, a couple of years ago, Anywhere and Everywhere All at Once or something. And he ended up winning an Oscar.
It's not just about the success of the film that's important, it's how they represent Asian and Asian Americans alike in more nuanced ways.
So if you were to look back, how do you think representation has changed since like the 80s?
Well, I definitely think there's still stereotypes. I think in the last few years, there's been some pretty big Asian movies and TV shows. Shogun, that was a great show. And they all spoke Japanese, and the Squid Games was a big popular show. So I think there's been a lot more opportunities. You know, there's been some Academy Award winners, both male and female actors and actresses recently from that are Asian. So I think it's definitely getting better, but it's nowhere close to there not being stereotyped still.
Well, guys, looks like our program crashed. Isn't this so fun? Yay! Now we have to redo a bunch of stuff.